Hey everyone, it's Colin. How's it going? Yeah, we're finally going to work on this. Sorry, it's been a little while. If you don't remember, this is a Game Boy Pocket that I picked up from Half Price Books about 2 months ago for a pretty cheap price. It was 12 bucks. They weren't able to test it at the time because they say it didn't have any batteries in it. It did. They were dead. It didn't power on, so they priced it low because I guess they didn't have any spare batteries or something. I don't know, whatever. I got it home and put some batteries in it and it didn't power on. And I cleaned out the contacts inside the battery compartment, which were pretty dirty, and then it started powering on, but it's still got a few kind of wonky issues here and there. I think the potentiometers on it are pretty dirty. And then I took the back off and found it looks like somebody spilled some soda or something in there. So this is a bit of a project. And considering the rough shape of the body, I'm not sure just how much work I want to put into it. Except for the few kind of rare ones that were clear, had clear casings. All of these are just standard plastic that has a coat of paint on it. And of course that means you're going to get stuff like the corners showing some wear. Scrapes will be more evident because it's taking the paint off. Unlike some other Game Boys like the Game Boy Color and the original Game Boy where it's just solid color plastic. You scratch it and you don't really notice. So thinking about that, I'm not sure how much work I really wanted to put into this thing because I want a good condition example of each model of handheld that I've got in my collection. I don't want a real beat up one. Then I was at Half Price Books again this weekend, and they were doing a 20% off sale on pretty much everything in the store. And I found this guy kind of sitting in there all lonely. If you notice, they talk about it's got some stuck pixels, and indeed it does right there in the middle of the screen. The stuck pixels don't really bug me too much because I've got an easy solution for that, and the big thing is the Game Boy itself is in really good shape otherwise. And for 10 bucks, that's really kind of tough to beat. It shows much less wear than this other one does. Even just comparing where the cartridges go in, the label on the back is in better shape, the corners aren't all chewed up. So this blue one is definitely going to be worth keeping. So what I figure is, I don't think there's anything wrong with this screen. This guy could easily get fixed with parts from this guy. So that's what we're gonna do today. This is just a simple video on showing you how to swap screens out on the Game Boy Pocket. This is also gonna be useful for those of you who want to do one of the aftermarket backlight mods for this screen. I'm not doing that particular mod today. I may in the future. But in the very least, if you need to know how to get in to get at the screen to take it out to do that mod, this video is for you. So let's get going. So first things first, let's get this guy taken apart. Pretty easy. You got to take the battery cover off, and you're going to need your tri-wing screwdriver. Don't forget there's 2 screws down here in the battery compartment. That's why we had to take that door off. Oh, and as always, don't lose this. Back just lifts right off. The one thing you do have to be kind of careful of is the spring might get stuck inside the housing. Don't bend it, that's no good. As you can see, this one's got some kind of gunk and stuff in it. I have no idea what this is. It's not horrible. I mean, the logic board looks like it's in good shape, so that's a salvageable component. I know the speaker works in this one, so I know that's something that tends to fail. Now what we do is get the Phillips head screwdriver out, and we got to pull the logic board out. There's only a couple of screws holding this whole thing in. They are here, here, and here. Before going too much farther, we need to disconnect the screen from the logic board, and that's just as simple as lifting the 2 little white tabs. This device is called a bail, B-A-I-L. You just kind of slide them away from the brown part. They'll only come out so far, and then you can just gently kind of pull that ribbon cable out. Just like that. Probably want to pull the power switch out because otherwise you may lose that when it comes flying. The logic board just kind of lifts up and out, and the speaker goes with it. Now we're left with the buttons and the display itself, and the display, I believe, does have some adhesive holding it in. Careful use of the spudger should allow you to just kind of gently pry it up. Make sure that you get under the front glass of the display when you're prying. Otherwise, there is the risk of accidentally pulling the display apart, in which case it's pretty much screwed at that point. So as you can see, just kind of prying it from that little notch in the top makes it very easy. This one's in excellent shape. It's nice and clean. I'm going to set that one aside. And then now we're left with really just the shell. So while I've got it here, I'm just going to take this all apart and set it aside to get washed up later because it's gross. Don't forget that you can also wash the back side, the back housing. If you're wondering when you're trying to go and wash these up, should you take like metal pieces like this out? You know, I wash these and then I immediately put them out to dry, and I haven't yet seen anything get rusty that wasn't already rusty. So just don't worry about it. All right, let's do the same for this one now. So there's a look at the bad screen. You can see that cluster of stuck pixels on there. I'm not aware of an easy way to repair those. I have a feeling if you've got a screen like that, you're kind of stuck. But in any event, here's our good screen. Let's get it dropped back in. Just get your 3 screws put back down in here in the logic board. Make sure that the white bail is still sticking out, hasn't been pushed back in. And then just carefully get your display ribbon cable slid back in there. Like that. Lock the bail back down. And there you go, see? Stuck pixels gone, and moment of truth. Yeah, it still powers on, we just need to adjust the contrast a little bit. Nice. So there you go, that was, between the two of these, a $20 investment to get a really good condition Game Boy Pocket, which these honestly go for more than that on eBay, and I didn't even have to pay shipping this time. So as you can see, it didn't take a whole lot of time or effort to get this unit taken apart, fixed up, and put back together. You can also follow this process if you simply want to clean your Game Boy. These do get yucky with use, or maybe you picked it up secondhand and don't know where it's been. Just take it apart completely, throw all the plastic pieces in a sink full of warm soapy water, and scrub them up with a soft toothbrush. In any event, don't be afraid to work on your own game hardware. You don't have to find stuff that's in perfectly clean condition. That stuff goes for a premium. Maybe you'll get lucky if you find one that has promise, but it's just a little bit grubby. Go for it. You'll save yourself a lot of money and possibly end up with a better unit in the end anyway. If you like this video, please give me the thumbs up. I do appreciate those quite a bit. If you want to see more, I've got videos coming out every Tuesday. Hit the subscribe button and you'll get alerted to those automatically. And as always, thank you so much for watching.